Good day, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I hope you are all doing well. Today, I will be sharing my report on a significant literary work titled The Beer by William Faulkner. This story is not just about a beer, it explores deep themes related to nature, personal growth, and our connection to the past. Let us first talk about the author, William Faulkner. He was born on September 25, 1897, in New Albany, Mississippi. Growing up in the Southern culture greatly influenced his writing. Faulkner is known for his complex narrative style and his ability to delve into the psychological aspects of his characters. His works often tackled important themes such as race, tradition, and the decline of the South. Some of his famous writings include The Sound and the Fury, As I Lay Dying, and Go Down Moses, which features the beer. In recognition of his remarkable contributions to literature, Faulkner was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1949 and won two Pulitzer Prizes. He passed away on July 6, 1962 in Oxford, Mississippi, leaving behind a rich legacy of literature. Now let us move on to the characters in The Beer. Ike McCaslin. He is the protagonist of the story. He grows up during hunting trips and ultimately rejects his family's inheritance because of the moral complexities tied to it. Second, the Old Ben. He is the powerful and elusive bear. He symbolizes the wilderness and the untamed aspects of nature. And third, we have Sam Fathers. He serves as Ike's mentor, teaching him important lessons about nature and life itself. And fourthly, Boone. He is a hunter who kills Old Ben. He represents brute force and the destructive side of the humanity. Fifth, Lion. It is a dog used in the hunt. He symbolizes the wild, primal side of nature, reflecting the natural instincts within all living beings. Now, let me summarize the story. The story begins with young Ike McCaslin growing up in the Mississippi Delta and inheriting the legend of Old Ben, a massive bear with a trap-ruined foot. This bear, more than just an animal, represents the untamed wilderness, a force of nature that inspires both awe and fear. Ike's father, a man of privilege and tradition, leads annual hunting expeditions to the Big Bottom, a vast and uncharted territory. Boone Hagenbach, a skilled woodsman and a close friend of Ike's father, often joins the hunting party. Ike, yearning to join them, is too young. He listens to their stories about Old Ben, a creature that seems mythical, and the bear's imposing presence fills his dreams. Finally, at 10 years old, Ike is old enough to join the hunting party. He stands with Sam Fathers, a wise old man of mixed Chickasaw and African heritage, who becomes his mentor and guide. Sam embodies the wisdom of the land and teaches Ike about respect for nature, courage, and the delicate balance between hunter and hunted. One morning, Ike hears the dog baying. It is not the chase he expected. The dogs are running a scent, but their voices are high-pitched and frantic, filled with fear. Sam tells Ike that it is old Ben who has come to the camp to see who is there, to test their courage. Ike is terrified, but Sam reassures him, explaining that the bear is smart and will choose its target carefully. Ike realizes that the bear already knows him, and it is him that old Ben is watching. The next morning, Ike is left alone in the woods, armed with a rifle that is too big for him. He stands by a bayou, waiting for the bear, but he does not see it. He only hears the woodpecker, a sound that stops abruptly, and he knows that the bear is watching him. Ike is filled with fear, but he does not move. He smells the bear's presence, a strong and musky odor, and realizes that he has been touched by the wilderness and the bear's power. 3 years pass, and Ike grows older and more skilled in the woods. He hunts deer and even kills a bear, but he still has not seen old Ben. He searches for the bear's tracks, but always seems to miss him. One day, while hunting with Walter Ewell, a young man who is also learning to be a hunter, Ike finally sees the bear again. And this time, it is not about fleeting glimpse, but a full encounter. The bear moves faster than he ever imagined, and Ike is filled with awe and fear. He realizes that he has been so focused on finding the bear that he has forgotten the lessons some fathers taught him. Later, Ike returns to the wood alone, this time with a small, fearless dog named Lion. He finds the bear's trail and waits for the inevitable encounter. When it happens, Ike is overwhelmed by the bear's power, but he does not shoot. He sees a wood tick on the bear's leg and feels a deep sense of connection to the creature. When Ike's father questioned him about why he did not shoot, Ike struggles to explain. He has learned something profound in the wilderness that goes beyond the rules of hunting. He has learned to respect the power of nature and the interconnectedness of all living things. The story concludes with Ike's father reading him poetry by John Keats. Ike realizes that the poem is about truth, love, and courage. He sees the bear, the old man, the dog, and himself as part of a larger tapestry woven into the fabric of the wilderness. Through his experiences, Ike learns that courage is not just about conquering fear, but about understanding and respecting the world around him. He understands that the wilderness is not a place to be conquered, but a place to be understood and cherished. Additionally, Ike comprehends the legacy of his family's history of slavery and injustice, ultimately choosing to reject his inheritance, the land built on the backs of enslaved people. He decides to break away from the harmful legacies of his ancestors and forge his own path. The Beer is a story about the loss of innocence, the complexities of family history, and the challenges of growing up while confronting the truth. It highlights the power of nature and the need to respect the world around us. Next, I will explain the central themes of the Beer. First up, we have the nature versus civilization. This theme explores the conflict between the natural world and human development. In the Beer, the wilderness represents untouched nature, while civilization represents human progress and its consequences. The story shows how hunting and land use can destroy the wilderness. As Ike grows up, he learns to appreciate nature and realizes the importance of protecting it. This theme asks us to think about how we treat the environment and the balance between nature and progress. Second, coming of age. In the story, it focuses on Ike's journey from childhood to adulthood. Through his hunting trips, Ike experiences important lessons about life, nature, and his family's past. He learns to question what he has been taught and to think for himself. This theme highlights the struggles and challenges that come with growing up, including the loss of innocence and the need to make difficult choices. Ike's development represents the transition to adulthood, where he must confront the truth about his heritage and values. Third, inheritance and legacy. Inheritance and legacy refer to the ideas of what we receive from our families and the impact of their actions on us. And in the story, Ike grapples with the inheritance of land that is tied to his family's history of slavery and injustice. He realizes that accepting this inheritance means accepting the wrongdoings of his ancestors. This theme emphasizes the importance of understanding our family history and the responsibility that comes with it. Ike ultimately chooses to reject his inheritance, showing that we can break away from harmful legacies and make our own choices. Lastly, loss of innocence. The loss of innocence is a powerful theme in the story because it represents the moment when a character becomes aware of the harsh realities of life. For Ike, this loss comes when he witnesses the killing of old Ben, the bear he has come to respect and admire. This moment symbolizes the end of his childhood and the beginning of a more complex understanding of the world. The theme suggests that growing up often involves facing difficult truths and accepting that life is not as simple as it seems. Ike's journey illustrates how innocence can be lost through experiences that challenge our beliefs and values. The message of the beer is very significant as it teaches us that true growth comes from understanding and respecting nature, which emphasizes that the importance of confronting the legacies of the past and making difficult choices. And through Ike's journey, we learn that courage involves understanding rather than conquering. We must also recognize our connection to the wilderness and the impact of history on our lives. Now, I would like to pose a question for you. What does Ike's journey teach us about the relationship between humans and nature? Now, it's your time to answer this question. Thank you for your insightful answers. I agree that Ike's journey illustrates the intricate bond between humans and nature. It shows us that we are part of the natural world and that our actions have consequences. And by learning to respect nature, I believe that we can be able to live harmoniously with it rather than trying to dominate it. And that concludes my report. Thank you for your attention.